Working memory is our brain's ability to hold and organize our thoughts. I like to think of working memory, it's like the Post-it notes on our brain, holding the information there while we need it. In fact, there have been some studies showing that working memory, even more than overall IQ, is the main predictor of academic success. And it's so critical because if you or your child can't take in information, use it, and give it back, it causes all kinds of academic difficulties as we get older. How can you maybe recognize if working memory is a challenge or a weakness for your child? So here's some things to look for. Struggling to follow multi-step directions, right? So if you tell your child, I want you to put your laundry in your dresser drawer, then pick those toys up and put them away and bring those dishes into the kitchen. If working memory's low, they'll maybe do one, and you have to repeat yourself over and over to them, like they can't follow through on that. Or maybe they ask you the same question about the day's agenda, like, what are we doing today? Or who's coming over? And you're like, I just told you that an hour ago, kind of a thing. That can be an indicator. Forgetting daily routines, forgetting to brush their teeth or other daily tasks. Kids with lower working memory often forget what they were doing partway through an activity or forget to complete steps in a task, and then the task doesn't get done. It can show up with trouble with mental calculations. So a child with weak working memory may find it hard to do mental arithmetic, especially like multi-digit problems that require keeping track, of like carrying numbers, things like that. But like how you may see this in the summer is, if they're doing the lemonade stand, they might struggle to give change or be able to figure out change and like simple calculations like that. If you're playing games as a family and they're keeping score, having a hard time with those mental calculations to keep score. Another indicator can be problems with reading comprehension. So, when we're reading, if working memory is not strong, your child will struggle to remember just the overall text, but especially details in the text. And because it's not sticking, they're reading the information, the Post-it notes go on their brain, and then guess what? After a while, those Post-it notes peel off, and then the information is no longer there. And then lastly, struggling with organizing their thoughts. So working memory weaknesses can cause a lot of struggle with verbal or written expression. So if your child, for example, is trying to explain a story or summarize something, when working memory is low, it can feel kind of like a painful process. Maybe what they're saying is more fragmented. It's not sort of sequentially correct. It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense in how it's coming together. And then that obviously would also happen too with written expression. It just makes it hard to put your thoughts together and get them on paper in a way that's more coherent and logical. So those are some things to look for. If working memory, if you think that is a struggle, that's something LearningRx can definitely help with.